Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Chris.
Good evening, Francisco.
How's it going, my friend?
Man, oh man, if I was any better, I'd be you and speak Spanish perfectly.
Esto va a estar candela esta noche.
Oh my gosh. Whatever you say.
I just said this is gonna be on fire tonight.
I don't have any question. We'll be getting started in a couple minutes. Hey guys, you want to send out any last minute text? We'll get started in about 3 minutes. Any last minute text? We have a special guest speaker tonight. You're going to really enjoy this individual. Love hearing the story. Before we get started, anybody have any incredible stories they want to share? What kind of win you've had today or in the last couple days?
All right, we have a raffle sold out. So I'm going to announce the winning ticket number. You bought from this last round, the serial number on your ticket ending in 9.
Two minutes, we'll be getting started. Make sure you're sending out any last minute texts. Anybody you have, definitely going to have the goods for you tonight. Let's see if we have Ricky Durant on. Ricky's on. All right, guys, I'm going to be muting all and getting started in 1 minute. All right, looks like everybody's now starting to jump on. Numbers are climbing. All right, guys, so first off, I want to congratulate everybody for another great week. Just watching the numbers and all the customers that people are bringing in, new entrepreneurs. Congratulations. I know that it's been a lot of fun with all the challenges we've been dealing with, but people are still pushing forward and making it happen. You know, earlier today, I called up a good friend of mine and basically just asked them a couple questions on things they had going on, because I know that we're expanding into other countries. Their company was too. I had Sean McLean on the phone with me, who also met this individual at the ANMP, which is the Association for Network Marketing Professionals. And we spent a lot of time at that event together. And you know, he happens to be the father of one of my daughter's best friends. So it's really funny. He lives in Tampa now, and I live in New Orleans, but his daughter lives here in New Orleans as well. And I might let him tell that story, but it was really cool. But when we were talking, then I started telling Ricky the story that he was kind of sharing with us. Being with the same company for 9 years, pushing through all the challenges, very similar to the things that we're dealing with. And, you know, it's amazing because I've definitely looked at the company that he's at. I'm very familiar with it. It's a great company, like many great companies in our incredible industry. And I knew some of the stories of the things that they went through, and he started to share some of those insights. And Ricky asked me a question. I'm like, well, let me call him and ask. And then when we started talking, it's amazing when you're talking to other leaders, how it just positive input just flows. It just comes. Like, they don't have to think about it. They don't have to try to figure out what to say, because they've been in the trenches. They've gone through all the stuff. And when they're just sharing what they went through, it's like nugget after nugget after nugget. And Ricky and I were like, man, we need to have Fred talk on our call tonight and share what he went through in the company, you know, being in a company that was starting up, a public company just like ours, and going through all those challenges and what that was like. And man, did he share the goods. And he was gracious enough to take time out of his busy schedule away from his family to spend some time with you guys. And he's going to be talking to you all just from a network marketing perspective and what it takes to win. I'm going to let him share his story and some of the things that he's gone through and what he's learned through that. And Fred, I appreciate you so much for jumping on our call. And guys, that just goes to show you people in this industry, real servant leaders will serve whether they're getting paid for doing it or not, just because that's who they are. And, you know, I really appreciate Fred for jumping on board our call. Fred, are you out there, brother?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. So, Fred, if you would, so I met Fred at dinner. What was that, 5 years ago or so?
It was a while ago.
About 5 years ago, and we were at dinner in New Orleans. He, at the time, lived in Tampa, but he has a huge team down here. And I was with one of my leaders in the company that we were in at the time, and we went and had dinner because, look, guys, when you're in this industry, we network with other people, and it's not him trying to recruit us trying to recruit them. There's so many people out there that aren't in a company. We don't need to be recruiting other people from other companies, right? If people aren't happy where they are, they're going to be looking. If they're not, you don't try to break up a happy marriage, right? But with that being said, we were having dinner, and our conversation, kind of share how that went, Fred. It was a pretty cool story.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. You know, like he said, it's well, first off, congratulations on all your success. I love hearing success stories of the industry, and Chris shared with me back in Dallas what you guys were doing, and just keep crushing it. I love it. It's awesome. But it was pretty cool. It was about 6 of us went out to dinner, and we start talking, and, you know, it's a perfect example of the 7 degrees of separation because Chris is sitting right next to me on the left side, and, you know, I'm telling him my story, my journey, and network marketing. My main drive, my why, was a daughter that I had, and financially I lost everything. And I had to move back to Tampa to get back on my feet. And so we're just sharing the stories and going back and forth. And he lives in the West Bank. And I'm like, yeah, my daughter lives in the West Bank. And she's the same age as my daughter. And everything just started lining up. And he said his daughter's name. And I'm like, wait a minute, dude. Like, I've never met you and I've never met her. But all I hear is about your daughter. And come to find out they're best friends. We just got back from California on Sunday. When I was talking to Chris tonight, he's like, yeah, my daughter went and spent the night at yours Monday. So it's pretty cool, the connection. And, you know, like he said, now we're just friends and, you know, leaders of the industry. And it's what this industry is about, man. If you're in this for the right reasons and you have the right purpose, we just want to see people win, you know? So it's pretty exciting.
So I was asking, and you started to share about the vision, and you said the one thing I learned, and you were sharing it with Ricky and I a couple minutes ago, and I'm like, freeze, keep that, share that with the team if you would. Talk about the mindset that you had to have, and if you would have just kept that, share about when you were talking about problems and all that, because that was great.
Well, here's the thing. You guys are going to go through what every company goes through. And I tell people, whether you're a new distributor or you guys are leaders going through growing pains of a company, when you guys realize that it's normal, when you realize that it's not just you, it makes things run smoother. Because a lot of times we feel like it's just us, especially in our industry, because there's so much noise, right? Put the blinders on. Stay focused on what you guys are doing. Stay focused on what you guys are committed to do. And don't allow the distractions to happen. You know, we always compare this business to a marriage, right? We all fight. You got good days and bad days with marriages, right? So the biggest thing I can tell you, what you guys are going to feel is you're going to have ups and downs. And I'm just going to go through with you guys some of the stuff we went through, man. It was tough. You know, our company launched May of 2009. And 90% of our leadership, they've never done network marketing before, right? I've never done network marketing. It's our first go in the industry. We were ignorance on fire. We went to 200 million in 4 years, and we just kind of did this, right? And a lot of the leadership was like, you know, what's the problem? The wheels are falling off the bus. The leadership's trying to figure out the problem. There was no problem. The only problem was the leadership was trying to find the problem, right? So it just goes to show you, when you guys commit to yourself, right? We get involved. We set our goals. We figure out why we said yes to this. When you look at your team and you commit to them, it doesn't matter what happens. When you stay focused, laser focused, what happens is you create momentum. You create current. When you guys create current like you guys are doing, what's so awesome about current is what you're doing is you're giving the bone for the masses. Anybody can have success when there's current. You can just funnel people into current and keep it going. The important part I want you guys as leaders to realize is you're going to go through struggles. You're going to go through product baby recalls, product not shipping, glitches in the back office, glitches of the system. Let me tell you something. It's only a problem if you think it's a problem, right? Because your team, they're gonna do everything you do. If you think the wheels are falling off the bus, they're gonna think the wheels are falling off the bus. If you've got the confidence and posture, like, hey, dude, it's a business. We're going through growing pains. I turn it around, turn negatives into positives.
Hey, Chris, we can't hear him. It's like he muted himself.
No, I can hear him perfectly.
Can you hear me, Fred?
Can everybody hear me?
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
We can hear him.
Yeah, we
I unplugged now.
We can hear you. We can hear Fred. We can hear
All
you.
right, we can hear you, Fred.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't know what I was saying because I was making all of it up.
You were saying,
So-
when the leaders are focused on who's falling off the bus, it's like the focus of the leader.
Yeah, we know that in our business, the speed of the group is the speed of the leader. You guys, everything that you do creates a ripple, right? If you ever been on a boat, when a boat goes, there's a ripple. It's a big ripple or a small ripple. So your negativity creates a ripple, your positivity creates a nipple, your worry creates a ripple, or your posture and confidence creates a ripple. So what you guys need to do is, obviously, if you're in this business and you're looking at the products and you're looking at the opportunity and you're going, you know what, this is it. This is my shot. This is my chance to create a life that I could only dream of. And you see this like it's going to create your true financial freedom. If you believe it, guess what? It's going to happen, okay? 1% doubt, everybody's going to know. Your team's going to know. Your prospects are going to know. Let me go through some of the stuff we went through, okay? Our first two CEOs never did network marketing before, okay? We got to the point to where the decisions they were making, and honestly, we were so ignorant to the industry because we were new, we didn't know if it was right or bad, wrong or right. So when we finally got some people coming in, we had a certain I forget I think he was vice president of sales, but he came into our boardroom and he had just left working with Holton Bugs. So he's sharing all these stories of work with Holton Bugs, and we're like, holy crap, that's possible. You know, we're having a lot of success, but not Holton Bugs success. So he starts talking about our company. He's like, man, you guys are doing it all wrong. Like, you guys have 90% customers. Like, this is ridiculous. How do you expect to grow if you got 90% customers? We're in a multi-billion-dollar movement. You need to be talking to distributors. Customers are a waste of time. Well, if you guys have half a brain and know anything about true financial freedom, you honestly understand the importance of customers, okay? Customers is everything, right? So it literally distracted all of us. All of the top leaders that were running wide open were like, crap, Holton Bugs is doing that. It's because he's not talking customers. That's not true. But it got all of the distributors. We were on stage at Elite Academy thinking we were doing the right thing, thinking we got together, we got a game plan. Here's where we made a mistake. We're focusing too much on customers. At the end of the day, we had leaders on stage going, quit talking about customers. I don't sign customers up. I only talk distributors. It just created turmoil. It literally, what happened to our company is we've been at $200 million for the last 4 years. So we took 4 years to get there, and we're still there, okay? So here's what happens when your leadership like you guys have here, you guys are creating the current, okay? So when the hurdles happen, it really just comes down to how you handle it. If you don't think it's a problem, it won't be a problem. And just be prepared for the issues to come. So the reason why I tell you that is you're going to, depending on where you're at. For me, in my situation, when all of this happened, I was making over $500,000 a month. Not a month. $500,000 a year of leveraged residual income. So I was okay. And we've got a product that people stay on, like you guys. But what happened is my next tier of leaders, the guys that were teetering with, I'm making good money, but I'm not making enough to quit my job, Well, what happened is they had to go back to their job. So we lost a lot of good leaders along the way. And even the top level leadership, we get tired of spinning the plates. But guys, I will just tell you, at the end of the day, just be prepared. Be prepared and understand life is going to continue to throw you curveballs. The reason why this leadership is so important is you guys are the pulse. Again, if you guys determine there's a problem, there will be a problem. If you guys figure out how to, debunk the problems, it's just going to keep rolling. So, again, I love what you guys are doing. I don't like anyone to see failure. And I'll tell you this, I'll keep the distraction. Don't look at what other companies doing. It doesn't really matter what company's growing. It doesn't matter what companies are failing. Don't turn into trash. Go do this because you want to go create a life that you want to live. Go do this because you want to help other people create a life they want to live and get products in their hands that they're going to see results with. Don't stoop low. This industry is powerful. We can win and do it right. Okay. So, I don't know if you want me to hit on something specifically, Chris.
So I was sharing the story about when Sean McLean and I were talking, and he was telling the story of another friend of his, Donnie, and how he was had a traditional business, and he was talking about, once I hit this level, everything's going to be okay, and how all it does is just create another level of problems. And that's when you started to share the story about when you start with that vision of where you're starting and where you're going with the long-term vision. He even mentioned the comment, and you can either elaborate on this or not, but he says it doesn't matter if your products don't ship for months. He goes, it doesn't matter if customer service falls off the planet. It doesn't.
It really doesn't. It has everything to do. It has everything to do with how you guys handle it. And at the end of the day, if going in, right, our business is about setting the right expectation. If you guys know going in that you're a global, you're expanding globally, right? Think about that. Every business has hurdles, right? You just don't hear about it. The problem with our business is we all talk. Everybody hears about everything. So as the leadership, you've got to really stay on course and understand if you keep focused and keep that positive momentum, it doesn't matter. You can continue to build a business with product not even shipping. You will learn how to always take negative stuff, turn into positive stuff. And again, it's kind of funny with your, let me give you another example, okay? I'll never forget when we were going through all these trials, always bring your negativity up line. Don't ever go down line, okay? And I remember when all this was going on, I'm like, man, this shouldn't be like this. They told me to work 2 to 3 years and I was done. They lied to me. 2 to 3 years and I was done. So I was frustrated, right? Making $500,000 a year residual, and I was frustrated. So crazy. But I went to my upline. I'm like, hey, what's going on? I'm frustrated. I'm still spinning the plates. I got to continue to enroll people. What's going on with this company? All this stuff. And then my phone would ring, and it would be someone in my group, right? My organization. And they're just as upset as I am, but they're coming to me. And the conversation will go like this. Man, this is bull crap. We got to get things straight. Hey, hold on. Let me take this call. Hey, man, this is bull crap. Are you kidding me? Do you realize what we got our hands on? Do you realize what we're creating? I mean, that's what you have to do. If you want to sustain the growth, if you want to continue to grow, you've got to be the backbone for your group. So, again, just know everything that you guys are going to go through more crap. Trust me. Product's not going to ship. It's going to ship to the wrong person. Checks are going to – you would tell how bad our screw-up is. We had some morons in our corporate office. Again, we don't have anybody. We fired everybody. We have a new CEO. Everybody's gone. We literally cleaned them out. These guys sent the 1099s to wrong people. Everybody in our company got someone else's 1099. You want to talk about how screwed up that was? Trust me, you don't want to field those calls. And you know what? We had a solution. Our company went and paid some people to pay for everybody's credit and protect everybody. But again, guys, it's going to happen. Majority of the people that I lost along the way, they were too worried doing this. They were too worried, oh, did you see this company's growing? And Chris, did you say your company's public?
Our company is owned by a public company, yes.
Okay, here's the deal. You guys can do what you want. Be careful highlighting that, okay? I'm going to tell you the positive of being public. I'm going to tell you the negative of being public. The positive being public is everything that you do is going to be done right. Okay, that's a security in your check. The downside of it is when you're not growing, people feel like the wheels are falling off the bus, and it's not. And I just go back to traditional business. Before network marketing, did you get a raise every month? Did your business grow every month? No. You went 6 months before you got your 15-cent raise that you had to go work 2 more hours for. So the point of it is focus on what's important, and all the other stuff, it doesn't matter. Our stock doubled the last 2 weeks, and everybody's going, what's changed, Fred? What happened? Nothing. Nothing happened. What do you mean? When the stock went down, did it change the results we were having from our product? No. Did it change your leverage residual check? No. What you guys have to understand is the stock is controlled by people. They don't have the relationships you have. They don't see the results that your product's doing. The only thing they look at is this. Stock day traders look for this. When a company does this, they buy. They hurry and buy. And as soon as this needle changes, oh, something's wrong, they start selling. So all it does is it plays with people's emotions. If you guys know what you guys got your hand on, what I'm going to tell you to do is buy stock and don't ever look at it. Don't ever look at it. Buy when it's good and buy when it's bad. If you've got that much belief in what you have, that's what's going to create success in this thing. And I hear it all the time, guys. I've been in the industry for 8.5 years. Like Chris said, when you reach the top level of this industry, it's a very small circle. And I can't tell you how many people have respect for me because I didn't jump ship. They're like, you know what? I applaud you. And I literally earn people's respect just because I go, yeah, you know, it flatlined. It wasn't fun. We kept spinning the plates, and we kept our team together. We rolled with the punches when there was problems. You know, rather than making the problems bigger, we figured out a solution. And you know what? We're finally out of the tunnel, and things are good for us. So, but it's taken 9 years. It's been a tough road. So the main reason why, you know, Chris wanted to have this conversation with you and why I was willing, I don't want you guys to lose sight on what you guys have done. You guys are going to impact thousands of people's lives. When you realize that, when you go face your fears, when you guys do the things that most people aren't willing to do, it's not just you're getting closer to where you want to be. You're impacting thousands of people's lives. You're responsible not only for your wife and your kids, you're responsible for thousands of people's families, okay? So toughen up and realize why you said yes, and don't allow anyone or anything to predict your future. You're the ones that said yes. You guys made the choice of change, and you got to continue to run with it.
That's powerful. So what you're saying is my attitude and the way that I deal with the challenges can literally affect other people's lives and the way their family is dealt with based on the way that they take what I share. Is that what you're trying to say there?
100%. If all of you guys are leaders on the phone, here's what I do. You have to understand the importance of the percentage. 75% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, right? So we're giving an opportunity to the masses. The people that you guys are going to be mentoring, they've never ran their own business. They were told what time to wake up, what time to go to the bathroom, what time they can eat. And you know what? They've settled for that crap. They have justified that that's the way life is. Thank goodness they thought about a different avenue, and they're looking at you, okay? So you're not their boss, okay? You've got to learn how to mentor them through inspiration and motivation. But I'm going to tell you right now, all they're doing is watching what you do. You don't have to tell them anything. You just lead by example. Talk is cheap, okay? So the point of it is, a lot of people, it's why this industry has a bad condensation of what it is, a lot of failures. Bull crap. Look at the numbers. We're giving the masses hope. People that would never have a chance ever to make it. So again, your confidence and posture is responsible for a lot of people.
Awesome. So you were saying 9 years. So when did it start to get smooth?
Last week.
So that's how this all started, guys. I was talking with him, and he was like, we finally had our first event that I wasn't having to put out fires and stop drama and like try to keep people focused on the right thing. He was like, we had our first great event this year. Is that the case?
Yeah, it was 6 months ago, and I sit on the board of the company, and we were sitting in our boardroom before the event started, and we started off, and we're like, guys, this is where we usually go. This is what we got to deal with, right? We usually come up with a solution on how to get the message out there, right? How do we drop the bomb to the whole company? Because we've got to tell them, right? I mean, I'll put it this way. We were in Hong Kong doing $3 million a month. We were in the Philippines. We weren't doing that much. We're doing about $300,000 a month. I went over there twice. I was a big part of helping it launch. When our corporate staff that had a brain come to this company, we had to pull out. So think about that. You got $3.5 million of monthly revenue. We are publicly traded. You're flat, and the company goes, "Hey guys, we got to make the right choice for the betterment of this company, and we've got to pull out. We've got to pull out and start from scratch and go back in this company the right way." These last corporate guys did some things they shouldn't have done. Are you kidding me? You're talking about people that have been building in Hong Kong for 3 years. Think about that. Think about I heard someone's from Australia. Think about that. You're building an international market, leaving your family, getting on a plane, all of this. Yeah, that wasn't a fun message to give. We lost some people. But at the end of the day, if sometimes you're going to have to make some tough choices if it's the right choice, if it holds integrity and it's for morally the right decision, you know what? Don't always make decisions just to make the numbers grow. You have to keep making decisions for the long haul. If you want true residual income, you've got to make decisions with the vision of 20 years. Don't be looking about hitting the next rate next month and doing something you shouldn't. And that goes from the small guy all the way from a company standpoint.
Yep. So what did you learn through this whole process? And second question is, do you think you'd be the leader today if you didn't go through all those challenges and all the things that you went through?
No, we all know that this business is 100% on personal development, and you learn from your failures, right? It's why the rich kid that was given the $1 billion company is broke, because he didn't earn it. Okay. If you want to be a successful leader, own up to it and realize you're going to get punched in the face. But at the end of the day, it really comes down to one message. Okay. An early mentor told me this, and it's gold. Successful people do what they say they would do once that emotion has left them. Listen, it's fun when you're growing. It's fun when your check's growing every month. It's fun when every time you go in your back office and you got more people. That's fun. What's not fun is when you're flat. What's not fun is when you're answering the questions of why this, why that. Again, it doesn't matter. You have to continue to do what you said you were going to do. The emotions are gone. This is an emotional business. You've got to control your emotions. And again, it's all about posture. It's all about confidence. It's all about doubt. You will have bad days. You need to find someone. Chris, great example. Go to him, okay? Go to him when you're having a bad day. You got to have a backbone. Sometimes we become leaders and we feel like we don't need anybody. I grew so fast. I don't know how to develop leaderships. I'm kicking butt. I'm better than Francisco. I'm better than Nicole. Guess what? You're going to have a day that everybody, I don't care if you start your business out of the gate fast or you start slow, right? One thing you have to understand about systems don't fail. And I don't know anything about your system, but I can promise you there's not a part of the system that tells you a timeline. It's the only thing that no one can predict in this business. No one can tell you if you do ABC, this is the day you're going to make this amount of money. What we know is if you do principles and technique ABC, you're going to get this result. We know that, right? So the bottom line is every single person here has a different timeline. Every car is a little bit different speed. Who cares who's growing? Just stick to the principles, stick to the technique of daily consistency, and you're going to win. And what's crazy about this is Chris may be kicking my butt out of the gate. You guys may have a slow start. You're going to have slow people on your team, and they're doing everything they need to be doing. You know what? They're flipping the rocks, and it's going to take them the 100th rock to get it, right? KFC, it was 1,006 turn downs before he found an investor. 1,006. Think about that for a second. Can you imagine that conversation with his wife? And they're at 900, and his wife's like, dude, give it up. No one wants your fried chicken. And I can imagine the conversation was like, I'm just going to go to 1,000, honey. I've had these conversations with my wife. Babe, I'm not going to give up on this person just one more time. And he goes to 1,000. Guess what? It was 1,006 when he found his investor. He never allowed the emotion to do it. Listen, he divorced the results and he married the process. And that's all you guys have to do. It's a very simple business if you stick to the simple process. Don't complicate it.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So you're more than welcome to share anything else you want to share before you jump off. I know you just basically shared a mouthful with this. I mean, did everybody drop some emojis if you enjoyed what Fred shared so far? Give him some love in the chat. That'd be great.
You know what? I'm very passionate about this business because, I'll be honest with you. When I got started in this, guys, I was a very confident business person. I dropped out of school at 16. I made my first $1 million at 24. I lost everything I owned, literally no car, no house, suitcase full of clothes at 28. But what I realized is I looked at people that didn't have money like me, and I assumed they were lazy and dumb. And what I realized in this business is we don't know what people are going through. We don't know their background. We don't know if they had a dad or mom that give them empowerment. We don't know if they had a dad or mom. So you don't ever judge people. You just continue to do what you're going to do and love on people and realize, again, it's why I'm so passionate about sharing everything I know with people, because all I want to do is see people win. If you help enough people around you win, you're going to win, okay? So here's all I'm going to tell you guys again. You guys know why you said yes to this. Reevaluate your why. Don't ever get too big that you can't go back to your why and realize why you said yes. And just continue to evaluate why your friends and family are saying yes to this business. Find out why they're doing it. And you know what? That's going to be the pulse of your business to continue running and having success. And I can tell you right now, guys, Chris is an unbelievable leader. He has the integrity. He has the morals. He cares about you. He's not a flashy, arrogant guy. He's a phenomenal leader. He's a leader that everybody wish they could work with. Guys, have fun with it. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the process. Don't get too cocky that you can't pick up the phone and go, Chris, I'm having a bad day. And I don't care how much money you're making. Pick the phone up, right? I'll tell you this. I've had my number one mentor, my number one earner in this company, okay? He was making $250,000 a month. And when they switched CEOs, he lost control. Think about this. One of the main reasons why he had a CEO that didn't know anything about network marketing is he wanted to control his company from an arrogant standpoint. He was making $250,000 a month. He was done, dog. He was done. The whole company under him. And when they fired that CEO, he went into my new CEO and he walked in the office. He goes, "How you doing? I'm so-and-so and I'm top earner of this company. And I just wanted to get to know you. And we need to talk about some things you're going to do." And my CEO goes, "Nice to meet you. I'm so-and-so and I'm the CEO of the company. And when I'm going to sit down and tell you what I'm going to do." And it created this, how stupid. He created this dumb chess game to where he was creating division of leadership behind the scenes. He's gone. He got terminated. He did stupid stuff. We're publicly traded. He was trying to sabotage the CEO. Done. Lost his check. Think about that. Because he was arrogant. His life's changed forever. He'll never find that success again. I have another mentor. They were making $60,000 a month. And they were the ones that were really, really big on screw customers. It's all about distributors. And you know what? They literally went on this tangent. They were our upline. They were one of the biggest reasons why we had success, coming here, supporting us, teaching us. We had to make the phone call and cut them. We're like, dude, don't talk to my team. Don't email my team. We had to block their team. They did stupid stuff. They're gone. It's crazy to see people make life-changing income, but they forgot where they started. So don't ever forget where you came from. Money don't make you smarter, okay? Successful people are the ones that know how to handle their money. So again, just learn from the experience of people that have been through the ups and downs. Learn from the experience of people that made dumb decisions. People always ask me, like, who's your mentor? I don't have a mentor. I've learned from their dumb choices. Some of my mentors are because they make dumb choices, and I go, I'm never going to do that because I don't want to lose my check, you know? So again, guys, keep keep funneling the current. You guys are setting the pace. Again, as long as you've got the current, the momentum there, you're going to help a lot of people create success that they could never, ever dream of.
So you had shared something else that was incredible. So guys, Fred was sharing a story with me on how people do what they see their leader do. Now, Fred is someone that has made some really smart financial decisions in getting started. Share what you were talking about, like with your car and all of that.
So again, when I enrolled in my business, I literally had $200 to my name. Girlfriend would not talk to me. She's like, "You are nuts." We made it work. I spent my honeymoon at our first corporate event. Why? Stick to the system, stay plugged in, and never miss a corporate event. I don't care what company you're in. That's how this thing works. You know what? I went to the corporate event on my honeymoon, and people thought I was crazy and stupid, and people were talking trash. And I was like, look, I'm going to grab this opportunity. I'm going to live my life on a honeymoon, but you go figure. And those same guys that said I was stupid, they got to go to work tomorrow, so go figure, right? But here's what I'm going to tell you. A lot of times people start making money, and they start getting flashy, all right? I know you work your butt off, and I know you want nice things. I was sharing a $12,000 Tahoe, okay? And granted, when I started, we had a $1,500 purple minivan because I could work out of it and get around. That's all I could afford. But we got a $12,000 minivan or a Chevy Tahoe. It was nice, no big deal. But we were making over $20,000 residual before we bought our second car, okay? We were sharing a car, so we were making over $20,000, and I went and bought another car, and I noticed that a guy that was making $2,000 went and bought another car, okay? And then our check hit about $56,000 a month, and I went and bought a boat. And my daughter was in Louisiana, so I had a house here and a house there, and I was going back and forth building like crazy. And then my buddy, I was making $8,000, went out and bought a boat. So listen, you guys are setting the pace. I'm going to tell you how powerful. We were in Louisiana. My son was born in Mandeville. We were living in Mandeville. I had an apartment here, and we were back and forth. We'd go there 3 months, come here 3 months so I could have more time with my daughter. And my wife looked at me. She was 8 months pregnant, and she looked at me and she goes, "I need you." She goes, "Stop. You're running around this world. You're on every phone call that comes through your phone. You're on training calls. You're nonstop. I'm 8 months pregnant. I'm swollen. I need help with our 14-month-old baby. She's about to give birth to the next baby." And I'm like Tasmanian Devil building a business. We're freaking full-blown momentum. And I stopped. I'm like, wait a minute. You're right. This is why I'm doing this. I'm doing this so that I can be a dad and husband when I need to be, right? So that was a choice I was working for. So I called my leaders, and I was like, hey, guys, listen, Casey's, she's swollen. She can't move around. I need to be a dad. I need to be a husband. I've got to step back, okay? Yes, I'll do some calls, but I can't be traveling. I need you guys to, take the rein by the horns. Yeah, go do what you got to do. We continued to grow for about 3 months, and then that, honestly, is when we did this, and it just went like that. And then what I saw it was a ripple effect, man. It was a ripple effect. I made the right choice, guys. I made the right choice because my wife and my family needed me, okay? So I'm not saying that I should have kept working my butt off. I'm just giving you an example of how valid that it is that you are creating the ripple. They're going to do everything that you do. Don't expect your team is going to be at the next corporate event if you're not going to be. Don't even tell them about the next corporate event unless you're registered, okay? Don't ask them if they're going to be at the next training unless you're going to be there. Don't ask them if they're going to bring guests to your next Zoom if you're not going to be there. That's it. It creates a fear of loss. And I'm going to tell you, one of the main reasons why we got my group back going is what happened is when we went through this spinning of the plates and we're trying to figure things out company-wide, you kind of go into the huddle. You go into the huddle with your team. Like, okay, Chris, come on, Shane, come on, Sean. This is what we're going to do, okay? This is what we're going to do to get the wheels back on the bus rolling. And finally, I realized, you know what? It just wasn't going to happen. So the next time I put my arms around them. I go, hey, guys, I'm just going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do exactly what I did 8.5 years ago to get this bus rolling. I'm just going to get back in the trenches, and I'm going back to doing home meetings and one-on-ones. And I came back here in January in Tampa. We were having meetings of 500 people in Tampa, and it was dead, nothing. And I called around, I'm like, hey, who wants this? And I found 2 people not in my organization, sideline. I'm 1 rank from the top. They were at the 3rd rank. I mean, they're just starting a business, but they kept spinning plates, and I respected that. And I go, you guys want to make this happen? I said, we need to Lock Arms. And I started opening my house every other week doing home presentations. And guess what? This was just this past January. The first month, no one showed up. And then February, a couple people showed up. And then March, a couple people showed up. In April, we had 75 people. And in May, we had 135 people in my home. So, again, it doesn't matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter what your sideline, upline. Every single person here, you got to keep yourself accountable. The only person you're racing is the guy in the mirror. These are tips of how you're going to create massive, massive success. And, again, if you're at a rank, you will hit a rank that you plateau. Everybody plateaus. And the best answer is whatever you did to get there, just go do it again. It may not be fun. I know when you get to the top, it's nice to just talk to your leaders. I'm telling you right now, the biggest mistake I did is I got out of phase 1 of my business. I got out of phase 1 because I was the big leader, working with my next level leaders. And I wasn't in phase 1. Phase 1, I've learned, never stops. You don't ever stop phase 1, because the day you stop phase 1, it's a trickle effect. You're going to do exactly what you do. So, again, I don't give a crap. When you guys start making $250,000 a month, it's coming. Stay in phase 1. It's why you have mentors like Brian Caruthers that's enrolling 10 people every month, because he's leading his group. That's what leaders do. So,
well, Fred, I appreciate everything that you shared tonight. I mean, that was just incredible. And I really just, when Ricky and I were talking to you earlier, we really wanted to let them hear an outside effect, because so many times people think that their leaders are just saying stuff so where they're just trying to motivate me so they can make more money. And it's the same thing. Everyone's dealing with the same thing, whether you're doing traditional business. I love it when people go, well, there's just so much drama in network marketing. And I'm like, there's drama on the job. There's drama in traditional business. Or people are this or people are that. It's the same thing everywhere. It doesn't change. Yep. And that's how the conversation started with Sean earlier. We were talking about that, and he was like, talking about Donnie's story and traditional business. And the same thing. It's like the bigger you grow, the bigger your problems are. Mm-hmm. Big check, big problems.
And I'll tell you guys this: don't ever when you guys get to the level of Chris where he's at. When some of you guys may pass up, I don't know what comp plan you guys have, but he may get passed up. Okay, don't ever lose respect for the guy leading the ship. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you what's crazy about this is you guys have 113 on here. I feel like you guys appreciated the message I gave you tonight, guys. My leaders I've been working with 8 years. If I said, hey, guys, I'm going to do a Zoom tonight, get on and jump on, it's like, it's Fred. They lose that respect. And it's industry-wide. It's what happens, right? It's that relationship of when your 3-year-old boy looks at daddy can do anything. That's that Brainerd distributor to the big guy, right? And then when that son gets 16 and 17, he's too big for his britches and he loses respect for daddy. You know what? It is what it is. Don't lose respect for who you got leading the ship, because I'm telling you, when you have someone like Chris that's achieved what he's achieved, wisdom. Listen, rank does not define leadership, okay? So don't forget who's leading this ship. And again, I wish my team would understand. I kind of feel like I have a pulse on what the heck's going on in this industry, right? I've spoke 3 times on stage with John Maxwell. But my team will listen to a guy over here say the same thing I did, but because it's me and we're friends, I'm just Fred now. So guys, don't get to that point. Again, these are all tips. There's no reason why you have to plateau. Okay. If you prepare for the top, just keep on rolling. And, hopefully something I said struck a nerve and you guys take it to heart and hold on to it. Cause again, I'm all about this industry. If every company in this industry grows, we all win. It's not just who's getting there first, right? Don't talk trash about other companies. It's not good when a company flops. It's not good for you. It's not good for me, right? So again, there's enough success. There's enough people out there. we can all win. Okay. So good stuff.
Thank you so much, Fred. Again, I mean, it was just like nugget after nugget after nugget. I appreciate you so much. Again, servant-driven leadership. Can't wait till you start, when you move back down to Louisiana and you start meeting some of the leaders that come down in our group. We've been blessed with so many amazing people that have come on board and joined this leadership team. So I just want to thank all of the leaders in this group for all that you've done, and all the people that are the aspiring leaders, ones that, have that dream, that fire in their belly to be that person one day. Because guys, it's all about you at the end of the day, right? It's all about what you decide today that's going to dictate who you are tomorrow. So, and I just want to share this one thing. A lot of times we talk about the leaders, but we both started. Fred started off at the bottom. I started off at the bottom. I hear people say, oh, well, the little people and things like that. And they look at like the leaders have different privileges that other people don't have. No, that's not the case. And at the end of the day, our whole culture has been built on focusing in on creating an environment for the new person to win. And if you always stay focused on the little guy and on the new person, guys, that's how you get to the big checks. It's not about just focusing on the big check. It's about helping so many people focus on the little checks. We create a whole bunch of $500 a month people. You're going to create a bunch of thousandaires. You create a bunch of thousandaires, and you're going to create the 5-figure monthly incomes, the 6-figure monthly incomes. And that's what it's all about, guys. It's really about staying balanced, staying focused, and not, again, Fred shared, don't forget where you came from, but also at the same time, focus on where you want to go, not on where you are today. So, Fred, I appreciate you so much.
Anytime, bro.
You didn't have to do this, and especially with like 10 minutes notice, he's like, well, that's in 15 minutes, all right. And he jumped on and took time away from his family. So, again, thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I can't wait, actually, till you move down here, because we're going to spend some time.
It's going to happen fast. I got the realtor coming tomorrow. I decided last night, me and my wife were talking at 9 p.m., and the realtor's coming tomorrow. We're selling the house. We're moving back to Mandeville. Again, listen, if you guys make a decision, don't question it. Remember the 5-second rule. You got 5 seconds to act on it, and after 5 seconds, you're going to talk yourself out of it. So I'll be down there in the next couple months, bro.
Awesome, brother. Thank you so much.
All right, man. Y'all have a good one.
All right, take care, Fred. So, guys, I really wanted you all to hear that. I mean, was that some value or what? Again, Ricky and I were on the call with him, and we were just like, oh, my God, we have to have the team hear this. We have to share that. And, guys, we're in a great place. We have a product that people love. They freaking love our product. We have a product where when he's talking about we had mainly customers and they were told, oh, go out and get promoters, we have 7 to 10 times the amount of customers that we do promoters. When I go look in my back office, it might even be more than that. When I go look in my back office with now the fact that we can actually track that stuff, the amount of promoters we have, I believe it was like 30-something hundred promoters in the group, if I remember correctly. We have right at 30,000 customers. 30,000 customers in the team. I mean, that is amazing numbers, guys. And it's because we have a product that people want, that they take this stuff and they want it. They get mad at the fact that the shipping and all that stuff, but they still stay on the product because they want it. And look, some people might say, I'm quitting for a little while. They might even go try another coffee or something like that. But guess what they're going to do? They're going to come back. And the reason why is we have a real product that gives people real results. We're not a company that said, hey, we have a comp plan. We're going to just throw some products at it. No, we started with this product, and then we had some other products and Xanthamax and all the things that, just it's incredible what we have, guys. And it's incredible what this team has done, even in the face of adversity. But it was so funny when we were talking to him earlier when it was Sean and I, and he was talking about 9 years and all the things that they went through. I'm telling you, I've been going through some stuff just listening, like watching my phone, ding, 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 ding. What about this? What about that? What's up with this? What's up with that? And guys, it's about emotional management. You have to emotionally manage and stay positive so where you're not going, I know, it sucks, shipping. Like you can't, start cheering on the crying, right? So, we can't be chicken littles. We can't say the sky is falling, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. The bottom line is, like hearing Larry Thompson's story, and you've heard me share this over and over, but hearing his story and what they went through made me feel like a sissy complaining about the things that we've gone through. Like where they were in the 80s doing what they did versus what we have. We're complaining about our website messing up or whatever. Guys, apps were getting lost in the mail. They didn't have any website. They had this, people would basically not get their product because the mail didn't show up or something happened there. I mean, it was totally different. So, you just have to put it in perspective, and hearing the stories from other people helps you to recognize, okay, the grass isn't greener somewhere else. People deal with stuff no matter where they are, no matter what you're doing. The same challenges are going to happen no matter where you are. And this is what it really boils down to. You pick the people and the company you want to have your problems with. We're all going to have problems, but we get to pick the people that we want to go through them with. And I am so fired up and so excited to be able to have a partner like Ricky Durant, to be able to go out there and do this thing with, and then Ian Prather, and then all of the other leaders that came on board. It was like literally like this. It was like Ricky Durant and Ian Prather and Robin, and then Sean McLean came on, and Mike Massini, and this leader, Mike Massini and Sean, I think came on board right at the same time, but Mike brought Sean, and then, it was just like leader after leader. Marcy came, and this leader came, and it was just leader after leader after leader after leader after leader, because we are all resonating on the same level. Our energy and our focus in a company that didn't really exist when we started, our focus and vision of what it was going to look like and what it was going to feel like is what attracted person after person after person after person. And the most valuable thing I got from Fred today was that when he started, he said that basically they kept focused on the vision of what they wanted in the future while they were going through all the stuff that seemed horrible at the time. They stayed focused on where they wanted to be, not on what they were going through. And that's when he shared the whole, when we started to go, well, what's the problem here and what's the problem there, and started to focus on the problem, and that's where it just kind of flatlined. So guys, we have to stay focused on what we want, what we wanted to create as a culture. We've done that. We've created an amazing culture with people that are so absolutely amazing that I love talking to the leaders and all the people that have built relationships with this business. I'm going to have Ian and Betsy staying with me next week. I believe they're still coming. And I know that Ricky said he was coming. And to be able to have a group of leaders staying together and just hanging out. We're going to go do some stuff on the boat and all that. And then, Sean and Kim and what we talk about, going on vacations together, and with Robin, and just all the different people that we have in the team. And I can't wait as we're traveling around to really spend time in your town and really get to know you. I know Ricky and I have been talking about this a whole lot, but guys, we'll close it out with that. I mean, there's nothing I can really say after Fred just shared. Ricky, anything you want to say in closing, buddy? Or anybody else? Anybody want to share anything before we close?
Thanks
I'm
for your
here,
enthusiasm, Chris.
Can you hear me, Chris?
Yep.
You guys have fun for the next week. I'll see you on the Thursday night stream next week. Going on vacation.
Have fun, buddy. I think we had an Aussie want to say something.
I was just saying thank you for your enthusiasm. I'm jumping around here. It's crazy. I'm just looking at all the faces. Like when you're going off your tits, everyone's smiling and laughing and getting pumped up. It's real, man. It's good. And, I'm stoked to see as many Aussies and Kiwis on this, because I don't know if you all know, but, you know, we've all had the same issues, if not perhaps a couple more than the Americans have. And we have stayed connected to your enthusiasm, your commitment, and it's kept us fired up. So, you know, to everyone on the call and all your teams, thank you so very much for that.
Awesome. Thank you for believing in us and going through these challenges with us. Anybody else?
Dude, I'm fired up, ready to storm hell with a water pistol and a cup of coffee. Come on, somebody.
You've been on the margaritas.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we love you all. Appreciate you. And I look forward to seeing you all next week on our Monday night Zoom. Don't forget about the Sunday night Zoom that we have. Actually, we had another Zoom tonight. Let's really get back into the focus of building into the Zooms to build our business, getting our prospects on these Zooms and sharing the incredible stories that we have as a team. Let's represent on these prospecting Zooms, and let's start building into them in a big, big way. Talk to you guys later.
Hi, Chris. Hi, Chris, you there, mate?
I sure am.
Mate, I'd just like to thank you for your time tonight. You and Ricky bringing that bloke on was just absolutely mind-blowing. Just from an outside view looking in.
All right. You froze up, brother. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna close.
We've only just started.
Aaron, you froze out half the things you were saying, brother. But again, thank you all. We appreciate you all. Everybody have a great night.
Appreciate you.
I'm going to post this up on the YouTube page in about 10 to 15 minutes, depending on how long it takes to convert. So everybody have an awesome night.
Thanks, Chris.
All right.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks. Good night, everyone.
Thanks, Chris.
Good night.
Good night.